Good morning students. I am Assistant Professor Manish Chavan. Welcomes you on the behalf of Shiksha Mandal's GS College Commerce Wardha. In last lecture we have seen basically the distinguish between the print media and electronic media, where we have seen the advanced form and the oldest form. Oldest form is considered as print media, while the latest technology, that is electronic media, and by electronic media today it is possible for us to communicate. Okay, so in today's session we will be discussing the advantages of print media and the disadvantages of print media, and then we'll see advantages of electronic media and the disadvantages of electronic media. Okay, so in as you can see here, the advantages is the advantages of print media can be considered as disadvantages of electronic media, while the advantages of electronic media can be considered as the disadvantages of print media. Okay, because one party has disadvantages, that's why we have scope for another party to come in. Okay, so in today's competitive world, it is very important for us to communicate in lively manner. Okay, so communication is essential tool for any organizational setup. Okay, so today we'll see print media. Okay, and in print media the advantages would be the first is that appeal to visual learners. Okay, so through print media you can add some flashy images in advertisement. For example, flashy images poster you can add. Okay, in that you can set some killer design as well. Okay, so that it should look catchy, and people should, because it is the marketing world. Okay, the way you advertise yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you showcase your company, it is very essential to fulfill the objective of particular organization. Okay, then second one we have flexible. It is very flexible because it is the oldest form of communication, and here you will get the opportunity to set your advertisement as like in newspaper. You must have seen there is a first page. Okay, and that is a very attractive way to present yourself, because those like newly emerging companies are there, they prefer first page. Okay, you must have seen that there are lots of people, they want their advertisement to come at first page. So you can add this full page ads in the front page of newspaper. Again, there are the opportunity that you can also set your advertisement in small listing pages as well. So in weekly newspaper, in quarterly magazines, you can set up your advertisement. So through that you can cover up the large portion of audience. Then in third advantages we have that here in print media you will get loyal customer, because these customers are very loyal to specific magazines. Okay, because these these weekly and monthly basis magazines they have their particular customers. Okay, so for example, even if you take the example of electronic media, even if you use this media, you will get a different type of audience. While if you want to cover up the particular audience, okay, particular age group, you need to think about print media, because in monthly magazines they have a fixed loyal customer. Okay, and then through this you can establish trust as well, because people will go for the magazine. Okay, and if you put your advertisement in that magazine, people will think that that brand name is associated with that particular advertisement, so they will go and then buy the product. Okay, so it is very essential to establish a trust, and it is very essential to go for print media. Then second advantages would be the reach multiple generations. Okay, we have seen that the newspaper is meant for all ages people. Okay, but generally we see that these senior citizens would prefer newspaper over magazines. Okay, while magazines we have for the teenage, we have different types of magazines. Even in for children we have magazine, for youth we have magazine, and for senior citizen also there are magazines. So through that you can cover up a large portion of target audience. Okay, then 6 essential advantages that best for local targeting. If the small business is there, for example any startup, for example if you want to take a tuition classes, if you want to take any small events, for example if you have started your dancing class, then you need to think about the local audience, and then it is the best source of print media. Okay, it is the best source of conveying information, that is print media, because it can cover a local audience. Okay, because we can think about that particular region only. And then there is no interruption as such. In terms of electronic media, if you present any advertisement, then there can be the interruption, because if the network issue is there, and if your ad is there in a particular program, and if the network is not proper, so the viewers cannot see it. Okay, so interruption is the issue in electronic media, but it cannot be in print media. Okay, so print media is the oldest form of communication, and it is very authentic one. So you cannot say that due to this emerging and the fast technology, this is something that we have completely forgotten this media, because this is a very essential and crucial way of communication. Then this is a high recall value, because through print media and through these different types of advertisement, if that advertisement and the poster is very catchy, it is possible for us to recall it, because longer retention is possible due to print media. As you can compare it, when you see any movie or when you read any novels, the impact of reading novels would be so much high, because when you read it, you experience it, when you come up with different kind of difficulties. Okay, if you are not good in English, you come up with your own dictionary, and when you search it, you will get a lot of meanings altogether. Okay, so when you read a particular novel, and when you see a movie, scripted movie, you will get all the information in ready-made form. Okay, you need not to think on it. So when you struggle while coming at the proper conclusion, you learn a lot. So that's why it is essential to use print media, because reading is something is very essential. In Marathi we have quote that वाचाल तर वाचाल. Okay, so you need to read to survive, and this is a very important thing to know, and you should remember it always, that print media, this is something you cannot completely, you should rely on it. Okay, so this is the advantages. Again we have, because as a student, print media, this is something that when you use your books, okay, this is the strongest source of, and this is the a medium where you can get the information, and you can through that longer retention is possible. Okay, because when you see something, that is for a short interval of time, but when you read, you can recollect it and you can present it in a very good way. So this is something you should understand. And through this print media you can generate employment as well, because what you do is that when you want to set your advertisement brochure or something, you can hire different types of designers, and you can appoint him. So there is a possibility that then through this you can generate employment as well. Okay, so these are advantages, and as you know that every media has advantages and disadvantages, so you cannot say that this one is good and this one is bad. So both, one is essential. Then disadvantages we will see. This is that not for a global audience, because newspaper, for example, you have Divya Marathi. Okay, Divya Marathi is meant for only Maharashtra. Okay, so the Marathi language is known to only Maharashtrian people. So it cannot be possible for a global person to understand it. Okay, so this is something, the major drawback of. And through print media, as it is very tedious to print it and to publish it, to share within a so this is impossible to share across the globe. So it has a strong disadvantages. While through electronic media, once you record it, it can be transferred to any. Okay, so we have international journals, for example, and that all are available in electronic forms. Okay, so e-journals are the example of this latest technology. Through that you can target this global audience, but through print media you cannot target a global audience as such. Then second one is that requires a lot of planning, because before you set advertisement, no, you need to think about everything, the design, the patterns, the boards, everything. So you need to think about this planning. Then you need to hire someone to design as well. So it takes a time as well. So it is a. Then the next one is hard to get a specific audience, because when you type particular ad, okay, for example, if you want to publish your advertisement as a mathematics tutor, okay, so the specific audience would be your college students. Okay, but when you publish it, it cannot cover only specific audience. Okay, so it will this is the biggest drawback. Then might not stand out due to other ads. For example, when you see this small advertisement, there is a one section in newspaper, there you say that a lot of ads are there. Okay, so there is a huge competition, so you need to keep your advertisement something different, then only your advertisement get attention, otherwise it might not stand out due to other competitors. Then readership is limited, because circulation of paper is limited, geographical area is limited. When you publish a particular paper, it targets only a particular state, it targets a particular district. You must have seen that if you read Deshunnati or some other local newspaper, there are one section where they cover only a specific region, for example, Hello Wardha and Hello Nagpur. So that would basically has been written to target a specific audience, okay, that is a particular district only. So this is something that drawback of this method. Then higher cost, okay, as we need planning to hire someone, so it is essential to hire someone, we need to pay something, so it is a costly method. We need paper as well to publish it, and due to this paper, you can say that this is environmental adversity as well, because paper is like, you need to cut down the trees to generate a paper, and this is something, this is not environmental friendly. Okay, so this is the drawback of this method. While though this has a drawbacks, but you cannot completely deny this method, because this method has a very good impact on readers. Okay, because this is a reader friendly. Okay, and as I said that reading is something which is very important for your academic developments as such. For example, as I mentioned that vachal tar vachal, and reading is very essential, that's why print media is very essential. Okay, and this is the now. As we have disadvantages here, we can cover up these disadvantages by using another method, that is electronic media. Okay, electronic media, as you all aware, that Google is most authenticated guru nowadays. Okay, even in the in your mobile phone, one tap is essential to get all the details. Okay, for example, even if you are confused with any information, no, Wikipedia is there, you can search it out. So in terms of this communication, no, we can say that it educates people. It educates people through radio, TV, through health matters, the environmental news can be updated. So this is the fastest way of communication. Through news channel, one can update ourselves, okay, what is going on across the globe. So it is internationally, and it can also target the global audience as well. So this is the advantage of this method. Then we have, it is very fast. Why it is very fast? Because once you record your video and once you upload it through YouTube, it can go and it can reach to all parts of world. Okay, so this is something very good advantage. Okay, this is something that you can say that. And fax is also another example, that within 1 second you can send your document to any party, okay, any other business party. So that is also the example of electronic media. Then it is environment friendly. Why it is environment friendly? Because you need not to depend on paper. Okay, it is a paperless. Once you access to internet facility, you can search it, you can Google it, anything. Okay, so this is the best advantage. Then second one is that latest news in very short time. Okay, distance is not barrier. For example, even if you are here, even if you stay here in Wardha, but you are getting through news channel all the news, okay, all the news globally, you can update yourself. So this is an advantage. Then people get to bring out their hidden talents, because once you are exposed to this electronic media through different shows, like for example, we have comedy shows, Kapil Sharma, we have different acting shows, we have Saregamapa and all singing shows. So when you exposed to that show, your hidden talents can be it is possible that your hidden talents will come out. Okay, so this is one more advantage. Then children's knowledge increases. Children can learn from quiz shows, animal program. Okay, so this is also a good example. Then radio, that is a form of electronic media, and it is convenient as people do get short news. Okay, through Akashvani you can update yourself. Then through mobile phone, one can access latest information through Wikipedia. Okay, so these are the advantages of electronic media. Then we'll see disadvantages of electronic media. As we have mentioned, the advantages of print media, and these advantages can be considered as disadvantages of electronic media. Because when we say that this is something very latest technology, okay, and people are using it nowadays, okay, and this is because that this technology now individualism is there. Okay, so we are following another culture, we are becoming more self-oriented. Okay, for example, during those days we were coming together, okay, we were having debates, we were sharing our ideas, okay, so there was like a good relationship bond. But due to these mobile phones, now everybody is busy, okay, everybody is busy to watch something, or they are busy with some another task, because as it is convenient way, so all are doing their works. So this is something that socialization is affected due to electronic media, because people are not coming together, they are not sharing a relationship bond as such, but they are becoming even if, for example, if you have real friends with you, nowadays due to Facebook, no, the people are not going, they are not meeting, but they have this virtual kind of friend. Okay, so even if you do not know why person, but through Facebook you are coming together and you are sharing the virtual bond, which is completely unreal, and which is completely, you can say, that is through this medium we are becoming this is like psychologically it is also very bad for us, because due to this technology people are becoming more passive, and they are becoming depressed as well. Okay, so for example, if you put some picture, okay, and someone comments something abusive language, so these are the drawbacks of electronic media. Then some contents are not suitable. So as I mentioned that even if you for example, even if you put a story, and if someone, if it hurts to some target groups, so they will abuse you, and as it is public, the people will see it, and it becomes very dangerous for you. Then increase in advertisement in TV and radio is making them less attractive, because as you see that when you watch a serial, when you watch a movie, there is a separate section is there for advertisement, but what we do is actually we just change the channel. Okay, so nobody is interested to and even if in YouTube if any advertisement comes, we see that skip that ad. So that are the disadvantages of electronic media, that your advertisement won't get any views. Okay, so then internet as a form of media opens up possibilities of imposters, fraud and hacking. So this is something, the biggest disadvantages, and that's why cyber crime is there, because nowadays, no, during those days that the people were coming and they were having quarrel with each other and they were settling down, that were happening, but nowadays the cyber crime is there. So these advanced criminals, no, they are hacking the account. Okay, so some imposters are there, so these are the, and they claim to be a same person. Okay, for example, they create the fake identity. Okay, and they chat with some other people and they take the advantage of it and then they misuse it. So these are the advantages and the disadvantages of electronic and print media. And as we had already discussed the distinguish between print media and electronic media, in today's session we have discussed advantages and disadvantages. In next session we would be discussing dyadic and group communication, but before that I will tell you the brief introduction about dyadic communication and group communication. Okay, so as we have seen that according to medium there are two types of communication, that is print media and electronic media, and the next topic would be according to number of participants. Okay, so we have dyadic communications and group communication. As name itself suggests that dyadic communication is something, the communication takes place between two people. Okay, so two people is essential, while in group communication there would be three or more people. Okay, so it is possible among large number of people. Then what could be the purpose? The purpose is that the idea sharing or relationship building. So in group communication the task completion or goal achievement is the purpose, because in group, in company, all employee comes together and they have a specific objective to complete it. But while here in dyadic communication, generally two people are sharing the bond of relationship. Okay, So that can be the different possibilities that the emotional bond can be created through dyadic communication. And the two participants take turns playing role of listener and speaker, because only two person is there, one would be listener, one would be speaker. When that time comes, the listener becomes speaker and the speaker becomes listener. So only two persons are there. But in group communication, different members are there, okay, and they may take on the different roles, okay. Someone would be the leader of the communication, okay. Second one would take the initiative. For example, if you have seen any events, no, so some would be the guest speaker, okay, one introductory speaker, and then someone comes and gives vote of thanks. So there can be the different roles, okay, in group communication. In dyadic communication, what basically dyadic communication includes, it includes the chatting between two friends, okay, a meeting between boss and employee, okay, an individual counseling session, because there would be only two people, okay, boss and employee, two friends chatting, and individual counseling session, okay. For example, if you are facing any difficulties, you need a psychiatrist, so when you go, so there can be only two persons, whatever communication takes between them is considered as dyadic communication. Why? In group communication, interaction happening in board meeting, group study, marketing and team of company, okay. So interaction happening in board meeting is considered as group communication. Group study is group communication. GD, group discussion, that is also group communication. And marketing team of company, when they come together, that is also considered as group communication, okay. So in this way, today we have seen the advantages and disadvantages, and we have seen the basic difference between dyadic communication and group communication, okay. In next lecture, in next class, we would be discussing the next topic, that is type of communication. Till then, be safe, stay home, stay happy.